We're talking about Christopher Walken. We're talking about Kevin Spacey, which brings us to villain actors. There are certain actors, especially actors that are, some would say, stereotyped, but there's some actors that are just great villains. So let's talk about that. I'm going to start with Robbie because Robbie had some on his mind.
Well, you guys said Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey is a great one.
Kevin Spacey's amazing.
You know, he's played Lex Luthor. He was in Seven. He was in some other movies. He's, I would even go as far as saying Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. It's kind of the villain of that movie. It's a great movie. Clint Eastwood. All right. Directed it. He wasn't in the movie, so if you watch it, don't be shocked. I'm going to go with Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman's awesome. He, of course, was Lee Harvey Oswald in JFK. He was the villain in Air Force One, and he was Dracula. He's the pimp in True Romance. He's in Fifth Element. He's in The Professionals, The Corrupt Cop.
Oh, that's a good one.
Gary Oldman's kind of a badass villain.
He plays kind of an intro villain in Harry Potter.
Also, don't forget the Book of Eli. He was the villain in that.
Well, I never saw that, so I couldn't forget it. Ted.
Yes, but that is a fantastic movie, by the way.
But Gary Oldman was awesome, and nowadays Mark Strong is really strong at portraying villains. He was the villain in Kick-Ass, and the Ridley Scott Robin Hood, Sherlock Holmes. With Robert Downey Jr.
They set him up to be the villain in the Green Lantern film, which he never became the villain.
Well, he was Sinestro, and he was a great Sinestro.
Yeah, he was
absolutely.
Amazing.
He was in the new Jaguar commercials talking about being a villain because of his accent.
Ah, yeah.
Alicia. I jumped ahead.
I'm going to go ahead and mention Alan Rickman. I know we talked about him earlier, but
Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber, and also, Severus Snape, going back to Harry Potter.
Spoiler alert, not really a villain, is he? I mean,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but playing a villainous character. Playing a greasy, sleazy uncle to Trent Reznor.
Yes.
Say what? Is Trent Reznor in that?
He's in Harry Potter.
Obviously.
So confused. Several levels of confused.
Then you should watch Harry Potter.
He's great.
Maybe I'll check it out sometime.
His accent. We were talking about that with Mark Strong.
You know, when I read the Harry Potter books, when I think of the character of Snape, I picture a young Roger Waters with Alan Rickman's voice.
Alan Rickman's voice.
On a young Roger Waters. Interesting.
Tad, is there an actor that that stereotype as a villain, or that you identify as a great villain character?
I don't know about great villain character, but stereotypes, yes. Dennis Hopper.
Pop quiz hotshot.
Yeah. Howard Payne from the Speed movie with Keanu Reeves played a fantastic villain in that. Just methodical, planning, perfect. And then you go to something like King Koopa, where he played Bowser in the...
that just shows he's diversified in his acting.
Yes.
Blue Velvet.
Yes.
Blue Velvet, especially Blue Velvet.
Diversified, right?
Also, the main villain in Waterworld, one of the best movies ever made.
Somebody's going to have to escort Tad out of the building. Except for I think he's trolling us.
Well, you have to think about it. The more money you put into a movie, the better it is, right?
I've heard that. I read that somewhere.
Michael Bay philosophy.
That's
I've never
right.
seen Waterworld.
You should watch it. You should watch it and The Postman back to back.
Yes.
That's like two Kevin
And then watch
Costner
Wyatt Earp afterwards.
Yeah, that's the only downside. Is
Not
it's a Kevin
Tombstone.
Costner film.
Wyatt Earp.
Man. If I'm gonna
I
watch a
actually liked
movie, it's
Wyatt
gonna be
Earp.
Tombstone.
Focused more on Wyatt, but it wasn't a bad film. Brooks.
I'd say Tim Curry. I mean, Tim Curry is the guy you think of with villains. He just has that way about him. Like, he has that face, he has the voice.
He's got a good voice, good smile.
The over-the-top villains, it's like, you see him and you know he's the villain.
3 of the scariest villains ever in my life. Frankfurter from Rocky Horror. The Demon from Legend. And Pennywise from It, dude, made me scared of Bozo.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, and of course he did Professor Egghead, was it, on the old Batman?
Yeah, that was Vincent Price.
That was Vincent Price? Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of
Do you know who Tim Curry is?
I know who Tim Curry is. I get the two confused a lot, actually.
He was also one of the villains. He was the head bellhop or butler or whatever in Home Alone 2.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember
Oh,
that.
he was. Holy crap.
Yeah.
And in Dunstan Checks In, I think he had a similar role.
I never saw it.
They're like, you're already here, dressed like a bellhop. Fuck it. Stick around, we're doing another film. I was going to say, one we brought up earlier, Christopher Walken. Great bad guy. I mean, he's played the devil.
True Romance.
Yeah, True Romance.
A View to a Kill.
A View to a Kill. Max Schreck in Batman Returns.
In Batman Returns, yeah.
That
the
was
true
great.
villain of that movie.
Yeah. Max. And I was also going to bring up
Bruce Wayne. Why are you dressed as Batman?
Why are you dressed as
he is
Batman?
Batman. I was going to bring up somebody that we talked about some of these actors beforehand. We're like, oh, and we had a lot of the general consensus, but somebody no one else mentioned, Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman.
Also Lex Luthor,
Great.
like Kevin Spacey.
Unforgiven.
Yeah,
Unforgiven.
Lex Luthor. Quick in the Dead.
Quick in the Dead. I can't think of it anymore.
I think of French Connection, but he was definitely the good guy. in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
movie.
But he makes a great actor all around. So if you can get him for any role, I think your film would be better for it.